responsible for my spouse's debt in Ontario? Who is responsible for credit card debt after death? The deceased's estate is responsible for the credit card debt incurred by that person while they were alive. Therefore, any assets in the estate must first be used to pay off the person's creditors, including tax amounts owing to Canada Revenue Agency. The creditors must be paid in full before any distribution is made to the beneficiaries. If any person has co-signed the credit card agreement, or has guaranteed the debt or indemnified the credit card issuer for the debt incurred by the person on their credit card account while alive, then that person is liable if there are not sufficient, or any assets in the estate to pay off the credit card debt in full. If any person holds a supplementary card on that person's account, then under the credit card agreement, that person is normally held responsible by the credit card issuer for any unpaid debt on the account. That individual is also responsible to repay the bank card debt completely if the estate cannot pay the debt off in full. Is my spouse responsible for my credit card debt in Canada? Just like in the last situation, your spouse will be responsible if your spouse has guaranteed the debt, indemnified the bank that issued the credit card, or is a holder of a supplementary credit card on the same account. If none of the above conditions are present, then your spouse cannot be held responsible for your debt. If your parents die with debt, who pays it in Canada? Many times parents name all their children as estate trustee. They do so to make sure that the children know that their parents love them. Hopefully, all the children are also beneficiaries too. The fact that children are either an estate trustee, a beneficiary, or both, does not make them liable for their parents' debts upon their death. There are, however, three situations where the children may be liable. They are: where there are assets in the estate, the children as estate trustees fail to pay all the debts prior to distributing funds to the beneficiaries. One or more of the children have guaranteed or co-signed for a debt of one or both of the parents, or has indemnified a creditor on behalf of one or both parents. Is a supplementary card holder on an account of one of the parents, and at the date of death, there is an amount owing. In any of the above cases, hopefully, there are sufficient assets available to pay off the debts so that the individual child won't be called upon to make good on the debt. In the case where there are no, or there are not enough assets and one of the above situations exist, then the child will be called upon to pay off the debt. Is an executor responsible for the debt in Canada? If an estate trustee, previously in Ontario, this person was called the executor or executrix, disregards the financial obligations and disperses the money to the beneficiaries, then yes, the estate trustee will most likely be held directly responsible for those financial debts. If the estate has no assets, or if what it had was insufficient to satisfy all debts, the estate trustee does not need to utilize his or her personal funds to satisfy the remaining debts. In this situation, there also will not be any distribution to the beneficiaries. In the situation where there are some assets, but not enough to pay all liabilities of the deceased, the estate trustee would be well advised to seek the advice of both the lawyer and perhaps even a licensed insolvency trustee, formerly called a trustee in bankruptcy. The estate trustee should not be in the position, after paying off testamentary costs and income tax obligations, to start choosing which debts will be paid and which will not be. In the situation where the estate is insolvent, the estate trustee may be well advised to go to court for an order allowing the deceased estate to be placed into bankruptcy. Then the funds that are remaining can be distributed in accordance with the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act, Canada. By doing so, the estate trustee is not making any decisions about cherry-picking creditors who will get paid, while others won't. This will protect the estate trustee from attack by any creditor who will not be paid or be paid in full. Am I inheriting my parents' debt in Canada? You cannot inherit debt. As a beneficiary, if there are more debts than assets, you won't receive an inheritance either. But, you can inherit debt. You can only be responsible if any of the conditions I explained above exist. Is there credit card debt forgiveness upon death? There is no automatic credit card debt forgiveness upon death. As I have discussed above, the person's estate is responsible for paying off the credit card and any other debt. However, if there are no assets in the estate, then the credit card issuer has no choice but to write off the debt if there is no other person to claim against. You will recall that I have previously discussed the situations where there may be a third party the credit card issuer can claim against. One more possibility exists. If the bank that issued the credit card offered credit card balance insurance, and the person paid for it, then there will be an insurance policy that will pay off the debt. In that situation, the bank will get paid through the insurance policy. In this case, the credit card debt will neither be forgiven nor written off. What happens to debts after death with no assets in the estate? If there are no assets in the estate, then there are no funds to pay debts with. In this case, the estate trustee would notify all known creditors of the death of the person and that there are no assets. The creditors will have no choice but to write off the debts if there is no other person to claim against. Am I responsible for my spouse's debt in Ontario? As I have discussed above, there is no automatic personal financial responsibility where one spouse is liable for the debts of the deceased spouse. However, if the remaining spouse has guaranteed, indemnified, co-signed or was otherwise jointly responsible for the same debts, then they will be. Specifically, with credit card debt, there is also the issue of being a supplementary cardholder on your spouse's credit card account. If none of those exceptions come into play, then one spouse is not responsible for the other spouse's debt in Ontario. Credit card debt after death in Canada summary. I am finding that I am getting involved more often in not in deceased estate matters. My involvement is either in advising people who are the estate trustee of an insolvent estate. I also have acted as the licensed insolvency trustee of a bankrupt deceased estate. That work has now naturally led to obtaining assignments where my skill set as a licensed insolvency trustee comes in handy in a deceased estate. Two examples are having acted as the estate asset manager in selling off assets in an estate and as acting as an estate trustee where there is no bankruptcy involved. Because of that work, Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Incorporated has opened up a new business division called Smith Estate Trustee Ontario. In that business, as estate trustee, we offer options for the complicated estate concerns. We end the discomfort and irritations the stakeholders are experiencing. We use the experience and integrity that we have built up over the years, with compassion, to help the parties navigate the messy estate issues. We strive for a win for all beneficiaries, adding value by reaching the settlements and distributions they were unable to accomplish by themselves. We provide a full range of services to provide solutions for the complex estate issues to end the pain and frustration the stakeholders are experiencing. We apply our expertise and creative thinking to take care of all details to end your pain and achieve the goals of the beneficiaries and other stakeholders. Contact Smith Estate Trustee Ontario today for your free consultation.
I hope you enjoyed the video. The Ira Smith team is available to help you at any time. We offer sound advice and a solid plan for starting over, starting now, so that you'll be well on your way to a debt-free life in no time. For more information on a no-cost basis, please visit our website or call us. Our website and telephone details are coming right up now.